Welcome to GirlCode, the official GirlCode podcast. I want to give a shout out before we get started to our sponsors. We have Blue Chew, we have Jordan Craig Apparel, we have Kara's Irresistible Desserts, Story Blocks, and last but not least, I want to promote our Hip Hop 90s Bingo right here. It'll be August 30th, so please come out. So, bonjour, ladies. Bonjour, Père Christy. Yes, I just got back from Paris not too long ago, and I have to talk about it and show it on my shirt.
If
you ever get a chance to go, please go. Great food, even though Char don't agree. It is the best food ever overseas. Got my girl with me, Kat. I got Sharika, and I got Shar. Hi. So today we're going to talk about off schedule, on purpose, and rewriting life's timeline without apology. So, ladies, I know that we like to celebrate women who choose different later in life or non-traditional paths. So whether it's earning a degree after 40, having kids in their 30s and 40s, or choosing family over school, or even building a business without building a home first. So how do you ladies feel about that? And who made these ridiculous deadlines anyway?
Right. I think we all kind of grew up in church system, new areas, and you got to follow the standard. And if you're not being the girl you're supposed to be. You're not being the woman you're supposed to be. And it's to be honest, can we forget those, please?
Yes,
100%.
The reality is that's not how life works, especially now. In this year, the Lord's year of 2025.
The Lord's year. Amen.
And Beyonce.
Happy Sunday.
Just things have shifted so much, and we want us to stay on these traditional standards. And it's like life just don't crumble like that.
Right. Well, they expect everybody to do it all before you turn 30. Graduate, have kids, get a house, get married, be professionally successful and everything. And I think, Kat, we had that statistics.
Yeah. So they're saying a statistic that came out recently in an article that 44% of women between the ages of 25 and 45 are not single and also without any children. And they're expecting that statistic to grow. Now, a lot of women on social media are celebrating that because really what they're doing is going against societal norms, and they're happy to see that because they want that rest of society to change and adjust in order for them to finally decide, okay, we're going to start having families, we're going to start having these careers and stuff, which is cool. I feel like there, yes and no. So, I feel like a lot of times we try to set these things early in life because we want to have a lot of those preparations before we get to a certain age.
Right.
And then also, I do understand that a lot of things have changed in society. I do understand that because of the economy we live in right now, it's a little bit more difficult for people to buy a home, for people to, so they're trying to focus more on their careers. I get that. So it's a for me.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like everybody gets caught up in society and what society wants and what society thinks. I feel like they lose just living their life.
Right.
Like take the opportunity to live what's best for you. For me, it might be better for me to have children younger. For you, it might be better for you to do it later. What works for you, and be great at that.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have not followed society norms. I've changed my career completely.
Absolutely.
I was in healthcare and I went completely over to tech. I went back to school, getting my graduate degree right now. I've flipped the script on a lot of things. I bought a house on my own. You know what I mean? And I did a lot of things. I'm sorry, my own business. I did a lot of things that a lot of people wouldn't have put first.
And let's snap for that. Let's snap real quick. That's great. That's beautiful that you're doing the things that are for you and not feeling like I have to be limited by the standard norms.
Right.
Because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes, because I don't have kids yet, right?
Right.
But I went to school at 17.
Right.
So, and then I went to grad school and I started doing these things. So the norms was like, well, at first it was like, well, stay in school, do these things.
That's what you have a mindset
You got to
for.
do, especially being a first-gen kid. And it's like, well, somebody got to get up out the hood so we
Right.
figure out what's happening.
We're trying to elevate the whole family.
Somebody got to do it, right?
Right.
So you become in this space and you do these things, and then it's like, okay, here we are. And the next thing you know, well, why aren't you married? Where are your kids?
Oh,
Where are
yeah,
the
yeah.
leads? What's happening?
Right.
How's
Exactly.
everything going? And it's like, well, that feels like I'm crazy because I haven't had the time.
I
Right.
think what happens too is a lot of our parents and the older generation, they were told this was the way.
Yeah.
For a lot of them, it was very successful.
And they taught us that way as well.
And that's
So-
the only thing that they know. Like for my mom married her high school sweetheart.
Right.
You know, he had a career. They had all their kids together.
Right.
And it worked for her. Like, but that's all she knows.
Right.
So that's what she's going to teach you. But also, you know, like they say, there's all roads lead to Rome eventually. Like we're eventually all gonna pass away. You know, things are gonna change. Life happens. You know, we really should just adjust our choices based on our own life circumstances and environment we live in.
And I think we have to understand too, the times are different.
Oh yeah.
So
For a
there were a
fact.
lot of opportunities that they didn't have
Yeah.
that we have now, that we are
Absolutely.
exposed to, that we have the capabilities to do. At the
Yes.
same token, I feel like it's very important to still draw some of those values from that time and
100%.
Yes.
implicate it now. You know what I mean? And I think that's very, very important.
Right.
And I also touch on we're not on everybody else's schedule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're on
Live
our
your
own
life.
schedule. We're not behind. We're just not on their schedule.
Yeah.
And I look at like Sharika and Kat. You know, we have children. So for me, I'm in my 40s getting my doctorate. You ladies are in your 30s, and Shar has already completed. Excuse me, Dr. Bonner has already completed her.
Don't forget that
That's
DR,
right. I'm
okay?
sorry. Let me put some respect on her name. No, so I feel like, you know, I'm not on everybody's pathway, and that's okay.
Oh, yeah,
But
totally.
I know what I want to complete. I know what I want to finish. I know what I've done. Like you said, started businesses and work. I'm 2 kids.
Right.
You know, doing what I have to do, and I'm okay with that. But I can't
Yeah.
look at everybody else's pathway and, oh my God, I'm so behind. And
But also success
No,
looks
I'm good.
different to everybody.
Exactly. It's about what your dreams are, what you're
100%.
trying to achieve, and how you get there, and your
Right.
pathway. Everybody has a different pathway, and everybody has to respect everybody's different pathway.
100%.
Like, don't judge it. I'm very big on, I can have both. I can have my family, and I can have my career. I can have my business. Like, listen, my time be TikToking, okay?
right.
But really, it's like instead of judging, if we could go to a society where everyone kind of works together to elevate the community as a whole, even if
100%.
there's changes, right? If it's outside of what was considered the norm, you know, there's still a way where a community can get together and still help elevate each
Yes.
other in these spaces, you know.
Agreed.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Because,
It takes a
man,
community.
Yes, it takes a community, and our communities just look different than they did
Yo.
30
Oh,
years
gosh,
ago,
very different.
right?
Yeah.
Even our access, like, honestly, about 30, 40 years ago, none of us would even be living in the same area, right? We're all from
30,
different
40 years
parts.
ago, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
we're,
true.
no, but we're all from different parts of the country,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we wouldn't even be having the same network unless it was like that is what we push behind. So some
Right.
people do have to find new pathways to do it, and you set the tone for what things look like. Whether that is making opportunities for the kids to come, whether that is finding your happiness when it's appropriate for life, whether it's
100%.
taking care of your family.
That's right.
Like we have just so many things. We got to make sure that we value what our journey. Because sometimes as we're navigating, it's easy to be like, this sucks, or this is like this. This is different. This isn't what everybody else did. So I kind of grieve that or feel like I'm behind.
Right.
But the reality is, when my story is told in summation at the end, there's this beauty in it that was for me.
Right.
and
It
nobody
is
else.
100%. And I think we also have to understand that on your journey, you're going to have highs and you're going to have lows.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And what makes those highs so beautiful is the lows and the different things that you feel like, dang, I remember when this.
I got it. Sorry, it was in my head. I was like, I had to do it. Squirrel. There you go. Moment.
Squirrel,
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. And it's okay to scrap it and shift directions.
Yeah.
Like, people get
Oh,
so
girl.
concerned and so
That part.
set on this has to be this has to be this. No, scrap that shit. and
Your
let's keep
resume
moving.
isn't a race, okay? Your resume is not a race. It's okay.
100%.
Everybody's is on a different
Oh, I'm the
pathway.
queen of scrapping and starting over.
Listen,
It's okay.
me too.
Right.
I rise from the ashes how many times?
There you go.
I think
Keep
that's
rising.
Call me a
good,
phoenix.
though.
A phoenix.
There's nothing wrong with that. But no, I think you just brought up something really important because we also have to be okay with failing.
Yeah, you
Oh,
do.
You
Yeah.
gotta be okay with
Right.
failing. And I think that's really good that you bring that up. And it's like, hey, I might have started with this idea that things should be like this because it's been going like that. And you did it and it didn't work.
We don't like the feeling of failing,
yes,
though.
failure. But if you think about it in the right way, failure is beauty, right?
It is.
Because that is one way that you know it's not going to work. Okay,
Right.
let's go to the
Right.
next Let's go to the next.
But that needs to be talked about more often because especially now with social media, cringe culture has become a thing.
Yes.
Where there's just an overall fear of failure and that being somehow recorded or held against you. So people just put themselves in their box where they don't want to extend themselves further for fear of embarrassment or a failure.
Right.
And greatness is handled outside of the box.
Everybody with success, you're going to have lots of failure.
Yeah.
100%.
They were outside of the box.
Right. But on social media too, they'll talk about the failure and then it shows the happy part at the end. It doesn't just post just failure only. And then you're all like, dang, that sucks for her.
So depressing.
Oh, well.
Or they don't post failure at all.
Right. Exactly.
And everything seems so perfect. And it's like, but I think that's why it's a lot of
media.
Yeah. A lot of suicides and things are high because of the social media and the unreal nature of it.
There needs to be more social media literacy for sure.
Yeah.
So what about when it comes to relationships? Because when you think about being unapologetic, let's look at what just happened in today. We're going to talk about Georgiana. I love her, and Cristiano Ronaldo, soccer player. So, she just got a big fat rock on her hand. After 8 years of dating. So she went from working in a Gucci store assistant to Ronaldo sweeping her off her feet and, living this wonderful, lavish life. If you get a chance to watch it on Netflix, I love it. So we got a nice 40 carat on her hand after 8 years. But I know it is. It is. I don't know where they're going without no security. So she's going to have to keep that locked up in the house somewhere.
100%.
Absolutely. But how do y'all feel about waiting 8 years to be proposed to? Now, I'm talking about in general. Their lifestyle's a little bit different from everybody else's, okay? So what do y'all think about that?
I feel like it depends on the couple involved.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because it looks different for everybody. I understand that there are some certain rules that people have in place. They're like, you need to be engaged for a year and then you need to be married right afterwards and then the kids come. But for a lot of people, it just doesn't look like that. Yeah. And for a lot of people who are in these type of relationships, they're already living together and they're living those lives actively.
Right.
So in their mind, they might not feel like there's any rush to get any of these milestones in place because they're already living it. Yeah. But, I understand there's some people who have these milestones because they need that type of security, right? So, that's why I say it's a case-by-case basis. I can't judge anybody for what they decide to do and on their timelines. Yeah. But I do know that there's some people that really look harshly at it if you end up being with somebody for too long and then there's not a ring that pops up right afterwards.
I know. We judge people a lot because of that. Like, girl, you been with him how long and he ain't gave the ring yet?
It's too much pressure.
You might want to leave him.
I agree with Kat, though. Like, it should be based on the individuals. Like, 'cause some people, honestly, in today's world, disagree with marriage. And that's a whole nother topic.
Yes.
That's a whole nother topic because they see the failures of it. They see the hurt that comes from it. And they're like, listen, I love this person. They look at it as it's a contract. I don't need this contract set in place to be able to say that this is my person, this is my life partner. Right. Whether you agree with that or disagree with that, I think that's everybody's place to determine. That's between you and whoever your other significant other is. What works for you? Do what works for y'all, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Nobody is living your life. Nobody is going through the trials and tribulation that you deal with every day. Nobody is going through your ups and lows. You have to do what works for y'all.
And that's not to excuse, though, people who string people along.
I agree with that.
Long time.
That's what,
giving
but that's what everybody judges based off of. Like 8 years, you just stringing her along to find somebody else better.
The reason I'm prefacing that is because there are individuals that will string you along, and make you feel like holding like a carrot in front of you, like we're going to get there. We're going to get there, and then eventually, the other partner just gets tired because all these promises were presented, and she gets tired and gives up and decides
when they're not fulfilled.
Or you get married and divorced after like a year or two.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So 100%. I would actually say, what's the commitment, right? Because there are, to your point, things that we see higher in the commitment. They had 3 kids together already. Right?
They have 2. He has 3 by, I think, another situationship. Marriage, I think marriage or situation. Either way,
in between. But as her, you're picking up all of that.
All of that,
there is
correct.
A time, there is a space that you probably have a commitment, not just to him, but also the kids, the family, and then timing.
Right.
Sometimes timing make things hard. And I think, again, we've been trained, especially in the society we're in, some people just don't want us or things not enough. So I think that fear of I just want you to want me. I need to know. And that internal battle is a lot. But it's like, are we communicating? What have we decided on? What's our center? What is our core?
And that's what we were kind of touching on earlier. Like, you have to base your marriage or relationship, situationship on what you guys want. You cannot base it off what social media or Cristiano Ronaldo or even Ashanti and Nelly's done or everybody else in there. All of these celebrities' fantasies has got going on. You have to base it off what you guys want in your home and how y'all want to communicate and what you want to build as far as your relationship concerned. Because everybody feels like, okay, well, so-and-so is doing it this way and, well, my parents did it that way.
Right.
Who cares?
Right.
Or like how you were talking about earlier about Nicole and Boris.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Like how they established their marriage.
Yeah.
So
Right. I don't know if you guys ever listened to Nicole and Boris, but they decided back in the day they were going to stay pretty for each other. Like, we're going to look good for each other. We're going to stay in shape. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
There is no shifts in their norms because that's the norms they decided for them.
Right.
they set a standard for what they wanted and what they wanted out of life and what they wanted from their partner, and they stick to it. That's their agreement.
Did they have a weight limit?
I think they did.
I'm trying to be funny, but it's
I
like,
think you're right.
if
I
you
think
go
they
over 2
did.
pounds, we getting divorced.
2 pounds is crazy.
But no, I do think they was like, we always going to work out. We're going to make sure that we have this structure. We put this in place.
Yeah.
Like, and now, but this man is also the same one who is like, hey, you want a house? How about you just get a bigger one for both of us?
Yeah, and he was very, very intentional. Very intentional when it came to Nicole. He was like, I'm not playing about this one.
Yeah.
This one is mine.
Love it.
That's where you make the sacrifice. Somebody else might be like, oh, no, you can't ask me to have kids and then be 20, like lose 20 pounds within 2 weeks. You can't act
Right.
that's the
You have to be
contract
reasonable
that
and
is-
respectable.
That's right.
Right. You
Yeah.
gotta know who your partner is and what you're doing
Correct.
and what that looks like.
Right. 100%. You have to reflect on all of these things.
All the things.
So what about being unapologetic in the work field? And having a certain standard by a certain age in the work field. How y'all feel about that?
Could you elaborate a little bit with your
So everybody expects like you to have this certain career by a certain time. Okay. So I know we've talked about degrees.
Right.
And I know that we all have businesses. Sharika's doing it big, by the way. Shout out to Sharika. She started her own female football league. Everybody. Female. Shout out to
Check
Sharika.
us out, the Gridiron Girls, all day.
Yes, different age limits and everything. So that's what I'm saying. But some people think, oh, you should have done that 20 years ago. But I think this is a new niche that is just huge. But people look at different pathways like, oh my gosh, why are you doing this so late?
Right.
And I'll look at more so for me because I'm in my 40s. So me starting the business, me doing contracts, and also the degree is like, why? Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Why don't you just chill out and just work because you're old?
Oh,
People tell me that. I'm like, what?
But okay.
you're not old, Christine. Stop.
Few wrinkles here and there. That don't mean anything. I don't see nothing. What is there? Zoom in for the camera. Zoom in. I'm kidding.
No, but let's address that, right?
Yeah.
To begin with, we are in STEM-dominated fields to start, right?
Yes.
Right.
I hate to tell you, but people do industry, and there are professors who are tenured for their retirement.
Yes.
They start teaching and will be teaching till they're 95.
Exactly. That's what I was like.
So no,
where's this coming from?
There is no
That's crazy.
such thing
I will
as
not
that.
be doing that until
It
I'm
was
90.
because you, girl.
She's gonna retire with her fat ring of 40 carats and sit on some island boat. That's what she's gonna do.
But also
What you
career-wise, I mean,
Yeah.
to match what's going on with society, society's evolving anyways.
Absolutely.
Constantly changing.
Yeah.
So why would it make sense that you would stay stagnant in your career?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That don't make, I mean, I'm sure back in the day you're able to stay in the same field for 40 years, retire, and be able to take care of your family.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But we just don't live like that
No.
anymore.
And
Switch up
honestly,
anytime.
a lot of people are shifting away from the retirement phase, the retirement age.
Yeah.
Like we're setting up businesses, we're setting up passive income, we're setting up different things that we're making money without being there. Why are we retiring? No, keep that money rolling in so I can keep doing and having this lifestyle that I want to have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I'm
creating
gonna retire
generational wealth.
Yes.
I'm gonna retire eventually.
But you're not really. I feel like you're not really retiring. Even think about the billionaires and the millionaires of the world. They never retire. Their businesses are still going. You are still the CEO or the founder or whatever of
Oh,
this
but you're
business.
talking about passive income though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, not even passive income. They're just sitting at the top of the business and they can go and come as they please.
Yeah, that's passive. It's coming in passively. You're not actively
Exactly.
working.
So it's just like, no, I'm not retiring. I still got this money rolling in. I'm not living off of retirement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that age, I feel like, is dying out, where that gives that transition from the different generations. Like, oh, you need to do this, because you don't have a retirement. You don't have this, or you don't have that. And it's just like, no, I have those things, but I also have this. So there's no need for me to retire.
Well, I mean, it's dying out because the reality is what used to be able to sustain us through retirement is just not.
Not with this
it's
inflation.
not viable anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
100% not.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Right. But
Okay.
I mean,
No, I'm serious. Not trying to be
I'm with
funny.
you.
I just want to keep moving, keep my brain active. I know
And that's
you sit
usually
still.
what keeps people alive.
Yes,
Right.
Alzheimer's and things like that.
But
Dementia
think about how many
kicks
people
in.
die after retirement.
Yeah, because they sit.
Never live.
They don't do nothing.
Yeah, but to your point, where did you just go? Patty?
Patty.
Yes. We were just talking about this earlier. You gotta travel. Like,
Yes.
that goes back to understanding the norms of today. It used to be you only can go to Florida,
Oh, yep.
the local beach.
Cali, if you got money.
Cali,
Woo.
if you had real money.
What?
Or
Girl, you went to Cali?
the
You
Big
rich.
Apple,
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
But the thing is, the reality is today, and I can say that for all of us sitting here, we know when the retirement to go
No.
on vacation.
No, I'm living now. I want to go see these places now. Why
Right.
am I waiting? No,
Thank
I'm
you.
setting aside
Right.
this time. I'm taking PTO. I'm taking time off. I'm doing something.
be
But I'm
60.
moving. I'm getting on a
In
plane.
Spain, 70?
Right.
No offense to anybody. Shout out to 67 years old. But I'm saying, you can't-
honestly, that's what happened to like a lot of our parents
Yes.
and a lot of
They
our
wait till
grandparents.
retirement.
They wait till they about 50 or 60, and now they're like, I gotta go here, I gotta go here, I gotta go here. I want to do this before I die. And I'm just like, no, I want to enjoy it while I'm young.
Exactly, 100%.
I want to be looking
that's-
good on the beach. I don't want to be looking all shriveled up.
Snatched.
That's not to acknowledge though people who are in certain circumstances where they can't do that.
100%.
Yeah, there are some people who can't, but like I guess the point is with how much the world is evolving right now. It makes sense to change careers in order for you to attain those things.
100%.
You know, the truth is we can't go places with the type of jobs that are available anymore. So if obviously we can't stay there for 50 years, 60 years. So you have to change careers.
Yeah.
You have to. If those are your goals in life and you want to be able to live that way in your 60s,
Right. Yeah.
you cannot still stay in some of these jobs that our parents used to work until
Yeah.
we're 60 years old.
I agree.
On top of that, though, you have these jobs too, where it's like I'm making a lot of money, but I can't miss work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you got all this money that you're making, supposedly, you know what I mean? But you can't leave to go spend it. You can't live
Enjoy
life.
Right. Yeah.
Listen, if you want to close your laptop and hop into a pool, change that job. Change careers.
Period. If you're trying to hop on that plane,
Hold on.
change
careers.
careers.
Actually, no. I'm actually gonna go against this.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
Team Shar.
As somebody,
Devil's advocate playing.
No, but as somebody who I work a lot.
You do.
You do.
If you know
She
me
does.
since I was younger, I have always worked a lot. That's like part of my character.
She is hustle,
identity.
hustle queen.
I'm always going to be here. However, one thing I struggle with a lot, but I still try to do is like, hey, I'm trying to be here a long time.
All right.
And I need to balance out what I'm doing. So even with me working 50 plus hours a week, I'm also going to take some time and be like, hey, let's go get a drink with my friends.
Yep.
That work-life
You do.
balance.
Friends.
That work-life
I
balance.
have a work travel trip. I'm also going to add a little time for me to add some time for me. Like I'm going to go get a massage. I
Massage.
remember,
Ooh.
where did I go?
Jesus.
I went to a conference in Florida and it was like a storm outside. I said, this is perfect. I'm going to go get me a massage.
Massage. Yep.
Like, but you got to figure out what do things look like for you. And granted, you might hear to your point earlier, well, you should be saving for retirement. You should be having this. You need to have stocks and bonds. You need to be honest, I need to have my mental life, my stability through the journey of my life.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
So
100%.
we got to do both things.
Yeah.
And sometimes, to what you said, we have to be unapologetic about it.
Oh, gosh,
But
absolutely.
also be realistic of how we move and navigate.
100%.
Right?
100%.
We all have different stages of life. If you can't go to Patty, go to Paris, Texas. You know? Not necessarily really
Go to
Paris,
Paris, France.
Hey, Vegas has the Eiffel Tower.
It does.
But
It does.
You can do like travel.
Smaller, which is there.
Right. You can find travel
And it lights
groups
up.
and stuff that actually does like help.
Right,
You just
100%.
gotta look up things that do. And sometimes you got to be like, all right, let me take a minute for me.
100%.
Figure out what that minute for you means and
That's
looks
right.
like. And if you have a lot, look at your community. See how we can grow and support. And then if you don't, get you another job.
Yeah.
But most people don't understand too, though. It's really about opening your mindset sometimes too.
Yes.
Like, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that. Do you not know it costs just as much to go to the Dominican Republic as to Miami?
It does.
Like, Expose
Sometimes
yourself.
more.
Exactly. Miami be hitting.
Right.
Okay. You can go out the country for the same price you're going to go to Miami for.
Yeah.
So just
100%.
look to see what's available. Like a lot of people just get so stuck in this mindset of this is how it needs to be. This is where I can go. This is where. Yeah. No. Shatter the box, please.
Absolutely.
Shatter the box.
100%.
And let's live life.
It's not easy though.
It's not.
No.
Nothing is
It's a
easy
lot
though.
no, nothing is easy.
Nothing
but
is easy.
I think that's what.
And
some
if it's
people-
easy, it's really usually not worth it.
I think that's what some people take for granted, though, going back to social media. Like, they see people instant success and they think that, to get there. Because I've had a lot of people who've asked me about my career trajectory. It's like, how did you get here? And I laid out the steps and they're like, is that easy? I'm like, well, it's not. It's extremely challenging. You're going to get rejected multiple times. You're going to have to get up again and try harder.
They don't want to do the work.
But I think
They
that's the
want to see the
important
outcome.
thing, what we kind of touched on earlier, where it's like everybody looks at social media and thinks this is like an instant thing. No, you don't see the people who started off in their closet or started off in their living room recording and streaming, and now they're this big streamer and everybody's like, oh my God, they just came out of nowhere. No, they've been grinding. They've been hustling behind the scenes, and no, they're not presenting that information because it's not with their brand or whatever they want to portray.
Yeah.
But they grinded it out.
Yeah.
Everybody has the grind to get where they want to go.
They see
Nothing
the
comes
tip of the
easy.
iceberg and not how it was built.
Exactly.
down
They don't see the
below.
foundation.
They don't.
Everybody sees the house. They don't never see the foundation. You got those footers
blood,
there.
sweat,
Like,
tears,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
I agree with that. So, so basically, I guess the takeaway of this is that we definitely need to cheer on every woman, no matter, or man, I would say men too, no matter when it comes to the moments of your journey. So for me,
Support.
I want to definitely honor each chapter that I create and that I did not rush through.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's important. So whether or not you're 22 or 62, it was your time to bloom. So bloom whatever
100%.
time of your moment is. So
I love that.
that was the official Girl Code signing out. So thank you.
Bye.
Bye.